Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
We are a nation in decline.
Experts are preparing for what is known as Disease X, or the next pandemic.
What we are seeing is a revolution against the system.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Vince Tagliavia, live every Monday through Friday in the morning to discuss the news and events of the day. Welcome, one and all. It is Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024, and we're going to get into it. We're going to talk a little bit about finance, social news, U.S. news, a little bit of world news, and with a little bit of science, and then we'll move on with our days. And I look forward to it. So thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you leave a comment if you'd like to talk about anything we discussed today or anything else on your mind. And subscribe if you're new. Let's get into it. We're going to look at finance first and foremost. Markets have been open for a little bit. It's always nice to just take a quick look, see where we're at for the day. And the market has been doing well this morning. I think it's on the back of all the earnings coming out. So we see tech doing quite well this morning. Amazon, Microsoft, Tesla, which is good to see. Tesla has been really taking a beating lately. But yeah, so the markets are up this morning a little bit. NASDAQ and the S&P 500 up over 1% for today. Anyway. Onward, we're going to look at this. JP Morgan, despite this fact here, says that they warn of the stock market selling off more despite this little green era or this moment of the stocks doing okay. So this is due to a multitude of factors. I think one of the main being the Fed not lowering interest rates until December, or some say maybe not at all this year. And that happened. I mean, they said we're going to have a lot of cuts, and it went from a lot of cuts to no cuts pretty quick. So we're basically pushing it. So JP Morgan says, yeah, it's going to continue to sell off, which is not good. Not good for the economy here. So, yeah, the Fed might not even cut the rates. Unbelievable. And thank you, Gio, for tuning in over there on Pilled. I appreciate the kind words. We're going to continue forward here. We had Trump talking about the dollar this morning. Let's pull that up, see what he said. I think this may be no. So this is what he said. The dollar just hit a 34-year high against the yen, a total disaster for the United States. When I was president, I spent a good deal of time telling Japan and China in particular, you can't do that. It sounds good to stupid people, but it's a disaster for our manufacturers and others. They're actually unable to compete and will be forced to either lose lots of business or build plants or whatever in the smart countries, he says, smart in quotes. He writes, this is what made Japan and China into behemoths years ago. I put limits on both and others, and if they violated those limits, there was hell to pay. Biden has let it go. Watch them now pick apart the U.S. It will be an open field day. Don't let this happen, Crooked Joe. Wake up and smell the roses. Oh, right. So obviously implying Joe Biden's asleep and his foreign policy is absolutely horrible for economics, which I don't think he has anything to do with, to be honest. He doesn't know what's going on, it appears, with every word that he says. But onward here, I saw some interesting movement as it comes to crypto. Bitcoin's been doing a little bit better the last day or two, which is good news for some of the people out there who like crypto. We just had the halving. People said the halving was a flop. Nothing happened. Blah blah blah. But these things take time. I think that we're going to see Bitcoin not do so good this year, and then also do really great probably towards the year end or a little bit later. Just speculation, no idea. But that's typically what has happened after a halving with crypto. But I saw this interesting headline or interesting tweet by the Kobisi letter I wanted to share, because I was talking about this with some people last night, crypto, and a lot of people say, I don't want to invest in crypto. It's for a lot of reasons people say that, but one person was telling me yesterday, you can't hold it in your hand. It's just, it's digital, it's imaginary. What value is there? How does it even have value? And they say, a dollar, I can hold a dollar in my hand. And I reminded them, I said, you can't hold every dollar in your hand or even have it set in front of you, because there's not enough dollars that are actually in existence to account for all the money that exists, even in US dollars. I mean, there's digital money now. A lot of our money is digital, and the argument that there's nothing backing crypto, you could say the same thing for the dollar as well. And I'm not trying to back crypto saying it's the next best thing and everybody should buy it. And I'm not going to ever tell anybody to buy or sell anything, because I'm not a financial investor or a financial advisor, rather. But I do see a lot of misconceptions about the reality of Bitcoin and whatnot. He said, it's never going to be a viable currency in the world. That's these kinds of ideas. And I said, it very well could be. And actually, we see this kind of taking shape now that it is. Crypto is being used in South America. Here, this story, for instance, you've got Venezuela. The Kobisi letter wrote, Venezuela is shifting its oil sales from the US dollar to crypto as US sanctions on Venezuelan oil are being reinstated. The Venezuelan state-run oil company, PDVSA, is considering using Tether for oil sales. They ask, is crypto about to disrupt the oil industry? And you see these wars going on with crypto and lawsuits and different things, and the rise and fall of different coins and currencies. But probably because there is a potential that these things are widely utilized and then it takes away from something else. But yeah, I mean, this stuff's used. And it is, I'll just leave it at that. If you guys have questions on that, we could talk about it. But hey, a boneless chicken, thank you for tuning in. Good to see you. Thank you so much. And good morning, Alex. Good to see you as well. Yeah, thank you. All right, onward. Just a little note on crypto there. Hey, Eric, how you doing? All right. Trump also this morning was talking about businesses moving out of New York because of everything that's going on. He's absolutely right. He says, it's a nation in decline. You hear it, you've heard it before, and people don't like to hear that. A lot of people say, don't say it's a nation in decline. Everything's fine. How dare you? And they'll get mad at you for saying it. But you look around, there's no denying it. Yeah, Jonathan Cho put this video out. It was really great. He just published it this morning. Apparently, he's, I think, a Washington-based journalist, and he made his way to San Francisco. The Tenderloin of San Francisco, he was looking at and discussing things like housing first and harm reduction, which is an interesting thing. I'm just going to play this 2x speed as I talk about it, where he goes through San Francisco. And he shows us kind of what's going on. He shows us Macy's there, which is on schedule to close down, all these other closed storefronts. And they go to the streets into the worst areas of San Francisco, talk to some of the locals, and show people what's actually going on there. The interesting thing about harm reduction, it was actually started in the 1980s. And it was because of the AIDS situation, which is a whole conspiracy in itself that I've heard people talk about, which is interesting. And it has the same people the same characters in the story like Dr. Fauci. But regardless of that, harm reduction started in the 80s because of AIDS, and now a lot of people say that it's part of the problem, and it's the system they use to clean up needles in the street and this kind of thing, which is beneficial to the community, but also to give people their paraphernalia to continue to use drugs. They even have fentanyl lounges in San Francisco. They have people coming there from other states in order to take advantage of the lifestyle there and the support they get from the city. At least what support there is, like little support, but basically in support that enables people to use drugs. And a lot of these drugs come from China, and they get here through the southern border. And the prices for these drugs like fentanyl are the cheapest in the nation here in San Francisco. So that was a really great this is a really great video by Jonathan Cho. If you want to watch the whole thing and listen to what they have to say and see what's going on, it's great. He does great work, investigative journalism. He's boots on the ground all the time. So definitely check out Jonathan Cho at Cho Show on X. Pretty remarkable stuff. Horribly sad, but that's the reality, not just in San Francisco, but elsewhere. There was one area in San Francisco where he couldn't even record because they'll destroy your camera and they'll attack you. And this particular area mentioned in this video was an area with illegal immigrants. So just noting there, something I noticed, I was like, wow, interesting stuff. Anyway, a nation in decline. So sad. It's not just San Fran. If you live anywhere near a city or even a small town, you could see the effects of this. It's very sad. Good evening, Alex. Good evening. All right, let's see what else we got going on. We had quite a bit unfold recently, so over the last 24 hours. So onward here. We had police ordered to move in and arrest protesting students and faculty at New York University encampment for Gaza last night. This was sort of unfolding late last night. Let me get this. We've got videos and whatnot. Apparently, 133 arrests were made last night in New York at the New York campus. It was a Gaza protest. Here are the police lining up, getting ready to make these arrests and being yelled at. There were protests at numerous universities yesterday, and they're getting cracked down on. So they're trying to stop them. And I was listening to some people talk about this yesterday on a Twitter space just briefly, and they were saying that they disagreed with this. Obviously, they are pro-Palestine people, and they said, how come during the 2020 BLM riots, they weren't being arrested, but now you have this and they're being arrested. What's going on here? This is, is this, I'm trying to think, I don't remember their exact words, but they're asking, why that's the case. And my thinking was, should they have arrested some of those BLM protesters that were breaking laws? And then the question is, are any laws being broken in this case? And it's an interesting thing to ponder. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You could go to YouTube or Rumble or contact me on X, but it's a very delicate situation. People have very high emotions surrounding the whole entire thing. But we have more video. We have more video here. Let's pull it up and I shall share it. Here we have more people being arrested. Thank you, Jeremy Lafredo, for posting this video. It's just somebody cuffed, getting put into the vans that they were utilizing in order to keep the people somewhere. My goodness, sorry for the background noise, folks. I apologize, but I think we've got some workers nearby this morning. Oh, it sounds like a chainsaw, man. They might be chainsawing. I apologize. Hopefully you can't hear that. All right. We also had the faculty, NYU faculty being arrested by the NYPD. Faculty. This guy got arrested right outside of his office, and he was crying about it. At least I don't know who it is. Him, that guy. Got arrested right outside my office, and I know the sound's low, but it's a lot of shouting and stuff. So, free Palestine being shouted in the background by one of the people being arrested. Pretty wild stuff. And they actually did clash with the police last night during these protests, and it wasn't pretty. It's not fun. I don't think anybody enjoys this kind of thing at all. Unfortunately, I think this is going to be fairly common here for great. Good. We got our morning disconnection or our morning interruption here. Testing. I apologize for the interruption. Here we could see police clashing with protesters as they rip down their tents, and things get a little heated. Yeah. So they started putting up these tents, and it's kind of an attempt at what do they call it? Like Chaz Chop in Seattle. What do they call it? I forget the kind of zone they declare it, but they declare it as theirs and like separate from the country and all this stuff. But that's kind of what they're doing. If somebody could remind me of the wording, I would appreciate it. I'm having a brain fart this morning. Anyway, onward. We have climate activists saying that they plan on making people's lives miserable. Here we go. So it's not just war protests, but also climate activists. Of course, we're going to see protesting here soon. It says here from Fox News, the congressional baseball game is scheduled for 5 p.m. at Nationals Park, Washington, D.C. on Wednesday, where climate activists are planning to protest. This is in June 12th. So it's going to be a summer of protests, I feel, whether it's climate activists or people that want peace for various different groups, pro-Palestine protesters, pro-Israel protesters, and everything in between and outside of that as well. So get ready. I really do think it's going to be like 2020 again with the protests everywhere. I really do. I think so. I hope not. No, that's not the word. Demarcate? No, Eric. It's I could actually find out real quick. Let me just look it up. It's something. It's this type of zone, and it's like a zone. I'm just gonna look up zone. It might come up. Let's see here. Liberation zone, sometimes they call it. I guess that's what they're calling these. At Columbia, they call it a liberation zone. Autonomous zone is the word I'm looking for. Autonomous zone. Yeah, so let's figure it out. What is an autonomous zone? I think it's a zone that operates solely by itself. It's like an anarchy zone, if you will. And that's just my personal interpretation and definition. Let's see. It's a designated area within a country that has a certain degree of self-governance and decision-making power over matters such as culture, economy, and language within its territory. These zones are typically established to address the unique needs and circumstances of a particular group of people within a larger nation, often including ethnic or linguistic minorities. The level of autonomy granted to such regions varies. This is kind of an extreme attempt to take over an area. In this case, it's schools. A few years ago, we saw it. A park in Seattle was the big autonomous zone. I think we saw other ones in other cities as well, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's what's going on. And it's one of their new favorite ways to protest is they declare an area an autonomous zone. They set up tents A few years ago, we saw them even try to garden in the park, but that got washed away in a week, and they tried it again. But anyway, onward. Let's see what else we got going on this morning. Elon Musk posted a quote by Benjamin Franklin. I'm sure you've all heard it, and it's an interesting thing to see Elon post this morning. He posted this quote: "Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety." That quote by Benjamin Franklin, posted by Elon Musk this morning on X. And it goes to show his ideas, his understanding that giving up your freedom isn't going to make things safer for us, right? Unfortunately, with how troublesome things have gotten, a lot of times people go to that. They go to, why isn't the government doing anything for us? Things are so bad. Somebody please help. And then this is an opportunity for somebody to step in and help, but at what cost? Right? Freedom will protect you, but you will no longer be free type of situation. It seems far out to some people when you talk about it, but I don't think it's so far out. Apparently Elon Musk too. All right, we had Australian Senator Jacques, I don't know how to pronounce her name, Jacques, Jacqui Lambie, calling for the imprisonment of Elon Musk. She is not happy, and there's more to this story, but let's first watch that video. And I'm not sharing sound, which is fine for what we've seen so far, but let me share sound for this because we do need to hear her speak.
Elon Musk has no social conscience or conscience whatsoever. I don't know, whatever Elon Musk is on, it says that that's okay to continue to air that is absolutely disgusting behaviour. And quite frankly, the bloke should be jailed. And the sooner that we can bring rules in or do something about this sort of game playing with our social media, the better off we're going to be. But quite frankly, the power that man has, because of that platform that he's on, it's got to stop. It has absolutely got to stop.
She says it absolutely has got to stop. Just hysterical. Elon Musk has no social conscience whatsoever. I disagree with that. He's actually very pro-humanity and very vocal about that as well. He encourages people to have large families. He encourages peace. He encourages innovation. I don't completely trust Elon Musk. Like, I don't trust anybody, but I'm not crazy to say that Elon Musk has no social conscience. I think in general he has an okay baseline mentality on things. Whether that's going to ultimately end up being good or bad, who knows? With AI and all this technology going, who knows? And even he says that too. He doesn't know. But here is the senator again on the TV last night.
But I say this to everybody else. I'll be switching off X today. I'll be doing that before I get to the airport this afternoon. And I suggest that the other 226, there's 227 members of parliament do the same thing and show them that you mean business. Because when you want to lead by example, it has to happen from here. It has to happen from here. So start switching off X. Start throwing it back at him. But we've got to start from here.
That's a terrible idea, to protest X, starting with the government officials in Australia. That's not going to be good for their campaigns. It's not going to be good for visibility, communication with their constituents, etc. If they even do communicate with their constituents. I'm not sure how things operate there, but she did indeed cancel her X account after receiving a ton of backlash from that first video we watched. Australia, what happened? What's going on? Oh my gosh, they want to actually censor the entire world. They were urging Elon Musk to take down videos that were, in fact, violent videos. But Elon Musk said, "I will comply with local laws." Essentially, is his stance. He'll comply with local laws. He disagrees with anybody, like Australia is doing, trying to censor the internet for the world. Could you imagine if Australia was in charge of everything that could be online, considering how they censor locally and the kind of tyrannical strategies they utilize? Not going to happen. And if it does, I probably won't be doing the show, right? Well, wow. So yeah, they literally are trying to censor the internet, Australia. They are. And luckily, Elon Musk is standing up for himself and for all of us. Let's face it. I mean, really. All right. Onward here. Eddie Vedder, Pearl Jam's Eddie Vedder. He's now woke. I guess he's always been woke, but sad day. He was interviewed, and the interviewer said, perhaps Trump's time is passing. And Eddie Vedder responded, I can't wait. Most thoughtful people are going through a bit of PTSD about it now. So maybe you're right. And he has an anti-Trump song with lyrics that include this. I don't know the tune. I haven't listened to it, but just the lyrics are, quote, oh, visited by thoughts and not just in the night, that I no longer give a F who is wrong and who is right. This game of winner takes all, and all means nothing left. Spoils go the victor, and the other left for dead. Combing through the wreckage, holding out, holding on, combing through the wreckage. Very, I don't like these lyrics. I think they are pretty gross and negative and scary, depending on how you interpret that, I guess. But man, wow. Eddie Vedder. It's sad to see these musicians go completely nuts, and celebrities and whatnot. It's very sad, but kind of on the same note of Australia trying to censor the internet for the world for your safety, right? Oh my gosh. Brazil is also censoring more now. Apparently, it's been reported a lot of people in Brazil are unable to access X Spaces. X Spaces are just chat rooms, basically, where people come in and they discuss things like we're discussing right now. They discuss breaking news. They discuss their hobbies. They discuss technology. They discuss anything they want. And one of the things they discuss is censorship. One thing they discuss is freedom. And one thing they discuss is news happening in Brazil. And politicians from Brazil get on there. You have journalists from Brazil on there. You have a lot of these conversations happening from people across all these countries coming together and discussing what's going on in the world. Well, Brazil is censoring those spaces for people in Brazil. And that's kind of where we're standing right now. And also they're going after Elon Musk, just in case you were unaware. It's been going on for 2 or 3 weeks. They're actually suing Elon Musk. They're trying to penalize him monetarily as well for not complying with their requests. The problem with what Brazil is requesting, it's outside the scope of what Elon has said he'll do. Elon has said he'll comply with the local laws in each country that X operates in. He believes that the requests from Brazil are outside the scope of what's legal. He thinks they're actually violating the rights of their people with what they request. So he has refused. So that's the case happening with Brazil and X. Trump's legal case is ongoing. He came out and had some things to say on Biden just 30 minutes ago or an hour ago. So let's see what Trump had to say this morning on Biden. Here we go.
What's going on at the college level and the colleges, Columbia, NYU, and others, is a disgrace. And it's really on Biden. He has the wrong signal. He's got the wrong tone. He's got the wrong words. He doesn't know who he's backing. And it's a mess. And if this were me, he'd be after me. He'd be after me so much, but they're trying to give him a pass. And what's going on is a disgrace to our country. And it's all Biden's fault, and everybody knows it. He's got no message. He's got no compassion. He doesn't know what he's doing. He can't put two sentences together, frankly. He is the worst president in the history of our country. And again, what's going on is a disgrace. Now, it's interesting outside for great Americans, people that want to come down and they want to protest at the court, and they want to protest peacefully. We have more police presence here than anyone's ever seen. For blocks, you can't get near this courthouse. And yet you have nobody up at a college where you have very radical people wanting to rip the colleges down, the universities down. And that's a shame. But it all starts with Joe Biden. The signals he puts out are so bad. And I can tell you, he's no friend of Israel, that's for sure. And he's no friend of the Arab world either. You take a look at what he said. He's no friend of, he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do. He wants to take like a middle ground, and oftentimes that doesn't work, but it's certainly not working here. But what he's done to Israel is abandon them. And he's trying to be as nice as he can to the other side. Call it the Arab world, but that's not working either because they get him. And he's an incompetent man. A peace will never happen with a guy like this. Thank you very much.
Whoops. A peace will never happen with a man like this, Trump says about Joe Biden. Wow. All right, to the chat real quick. There was a couple chats I saw here. Smitten Kitten, thank you for tuning in. Truth Social is going to start live streaming. That'll be interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay, cool. Looking forward to it. And these people are crazy. Australian senator spoke out wanting Musk arrested immediately. Yeah, we just played that a minute ago. That was crazy, huh? Ah, my gosh. Thank you, Smitten Kitten, for that information. I'm looking forward to that. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but you say you're losing hope. Anyone see a city in Quebec will roll out. I don't know what that means. If you want, I don't know what that means, but don't lose hope. There's always hope. I'm sorry you feel that way. Okay. Black Chester, thank you for the donation and donations. Thank you so much. How you doing this morning? I think, hey, Trump Love 77. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good to see you. I appreciate you tuning in over there on Rumble. Good day to you. Forrest took off. All right, good deal. Okay, let's move on and continue on forward here. Trump had more to say on Truth Social this morning. He said, every single legal scholar and expert said that Soros-backed prosecutor Alvin Bragg has no case. This list includes Jonathan Turley, Greg, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes through a list of a lot of people and many more. He says, quote, so why won't they drop this case? Alvin Bragg never wanted to bring it, though it thought it was a joke, was furious at lawyer Mark Pomerantz. Will he be prosecuted for what he did? Yeah, Trump. So Trump kind of going off. And this was, I believe Trump was going off during his trial this morning. And he says this as well. Highly conflicted, to put it mildly. Judge Juan Merchant has taken away my constitutional right to free speech. Everybody is allowed to talk and lie about me, but I am not allowed to defend myself. This is a kangaroo court, and the judge should recuse himself. This morning, about an hour ago, Trump. All right. Forrest, you're not late. Oh, you're a little bit late, but not terribly late. We've got a little while to go. It's all good. All right. Onward. Let's see. We've got a few more things that I wanted to discuss this morning. So Alec Baldwin, there was a picture of him going viral. Yes, not a picture, a video of Alec Baldwin going viral yesterday where he hits the phone out of somebody's hand, and it's an activist, if you will, that's pressing him for information or pressing him to say things. Let's watch that video.
Alec, can you please say free Palestine one time? Why did you kill that lady? You killed that lady and got no jail time? No jail time, Alec? No jail time, Alec. You're putting innocent people in jail, Alec Baldwin. I'm so sorry. Free Palestine, Alec, just one time, and I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you alone, I swear.
That was
just
scary.
say free Palestine one time. One time. One time.
Call the police.
One time, Alec. You know he's a criminal. You know he's a fucking criminal. Come on, Alec. Just say free Palestine one time. One time. Just one time. Please. And I'll leave you alone. Free Palestine. Fuck Israel. Fuck Zionism. Please say it. One time.
Could you do me one quick favor?
Alec, can you please
And
say
that's
free
where he hits
Palestine
the
one
phone.
Could you do me one quick favor?
Alec, can you please?
Yeah. My goodness. And of course, a lot of people are joking about the situation considering his history. But my gosh. I mean, that would be annoying. This is just how the world is now. It's wild stuff. I mean, gosh, he did not look very happy, man. I wouldn't. I mean, that would annoy me, but I would leave. What is he doing? Getting a coffee? Okay, I would leave if somebody's yelling in my face. I'd just get away from them. But that's just me. My goodness. There was another fire yesterday. It seems to be never ending. This time, a warehouse data center burned down. Warehouse data center in Sterling, Virginia. Let's see if we have an update here. It was a 2-alarm fire coming from the Prospect Waterproofing Company warehouse. It contained lithium-ion batteries, diesel generators, and other items, potentially hazardous, housing hazardous materials. Oh my gosh. Footage confirms that the fire at the waterproofing company warehouse, which resulted in large amounts of heavy black smoke, is now extinguished. And we might have talked about this a little bit yesterday, but it is extinguished now. Data center. Wow. It's just always something burning up. Those things aren't cheap, by the way. Data centers. Hey, Smitten Kitten. Oh my goodness. China's had intense flooding, the worst flooding they've had in 50 years. 127 people are in danger from it. They've issued the highest level rainstorm warning after these deadly floods. Pretty intense stuff going on over there. More than 100,000 people were evacuated due to the heavy rain and the fatal floods. We have some footage of that as well. Here is some of the rushing water through some trees. Probably, yeah, absolutely wild flooding there. And onward here. Here is some of the flooding in China. Just wet. Everything's completely wet. That's a bridge there. And the streets surrounding are completely flooded. Just all the storefronts are probably flooded as well, or all the houses or apartments or whatever buildings they have here. Same bridge here. And they've got their storm alarms going off. This comes just after we saw Dubai get flooded as well. And then I guess that was from cloud seeding. They're like, oh yeah, we're manipulating the weather, and it just created this horrible flooding never seen before in Dubai. More rain than we see in a year in a single day or something like that. Cloud seeding. It's real. They do that in China too, but they haven't said that's what these floods are from. I don't know. So who knows, man? Crazy stuff. In Ukraine, we have the Ukrainian agriculture minister suspected in a corruption scandal. Imagine that. We've had corruption scandals in Ukraine before. This time it's their agricultural minister. Previously, we saw their defense minister be accused of some corruption scandals in the army, and Zelensky fired him last year. But now it's the agriculture minister suspected of illegally appropriating state land worth more than $7 million between 2017 and 2021. So, yeah. Things aren't looking good, man. The corruption in Ukraine, I think, isn't talked about enough. It really isn't. It's a problem everywhere, actually. I don't want to single out Ukraine like we don't have corruption. Hey, thanks, Energy. Yeah, isn't that cool? Yeah, but anyway, let's just move on. We'll just move on from there. We're going to talk about a little bit of health and then a little technology, and then that'll put a nice cap on the show for today. Oh gosh, I read some crazy things about health. Man, I saw one. Who was it? I think it was Mario Nawful. Actually, I'm not going to say it was him because I don't recall who it was. I really do think it was, though. They posted some article, and it was misleading about health, or it was a health study somebody published. I'm not going to attribute it to any individual. I don't remember. But somebody published a health study, and they didn't publish the study. All right. They never published the actual study. They published an article talking about a study. And they were saying that fasting didn't see as good as results as just cutting calories, and that cutting calories is better than fasting, and that fasting is just garbage. Of course, you had all the autophagy people out there, or people that fast, or intermittent fast, which is where you fast for less than 24 hours and just maybe eat once a day, or have a 12-hour period where you don't eat and you fast. A lot of those people were like, what study is this and who paid for it? Because, I've read about autophagy, and I've read about how the body works. And a lot of people are saying that it was BS. It's just interesting to see this info go around. And then there's always a study to back it up, right? You can find a study on this end. You can find a study on that end. You can find a study that says fasting's great. You can find a study that says fasting's terrible. And you can have the scientific data to back it up. That's the crazy thing about science today, is it's just all over the place. Here's one. I don't know if this is clickbait, sensationalism, just for some clicks and some ad revenue, or if people are this crazy, but I've seen stuff like it before. Have you seen them? If you shake a duvet cover too hard when you're making your bed, you might have a heart attack. If you spend too much time in the sun, you might have a heart attack. If you work out, you're at higher risk of a heart attack. These are all things I've seen on the internet. I'm not a doctor. I don't know, but I'm just like, that goes against everything I ever learned about health. That doesn't seem right. But look at this one. Chilling find by the Sun. Oh, gosh. Chilling find, they write. Quote, common fart can trigger a killer blood clot disorder. Scientists discover for the first time. A common fart can trigger a blood clot disorder? What? So now people are going to be paranoid about farting, or if somebody gets a blood clot, the doctor's going to be like, have you farted lately? Oh, yeah, this is a connection. I saw a thing on the Sun. Yeah. I think your blood clot was triggered from your gas. Maybe try not to eat so much of this and that and this and the other if they're still alive. The connection, I mean, the rise in blood clots has been a lot lately. Look at that data. I don't think it's because of farts. I'm not going to, speculate on what it is. I'm sure we could all speculate on what it might be. But yeah, farts, I don't think farts are causing blood clots, and that's just my feeling, the Sun. Anyway, intermittent has done wonders for my body and health. Kellis Free 20 writes, yeah, I'm on board too. I think that it's good to have an intermittent fast. For me, it does me well as well. And I think it does really great. I feel great when I do that. California admitted to cloud seeding as well. Smitten Kitten writes, interesting. Wow. Yeah, energy fart clots. I don't know. I don't write this stuff. I just report on it. I couldn't make this up. I couldn't make that up. I don't know where this stuff comes from. Onward. Apparently, the World Health Organization was forced to back down a little bit after numerous nations rejected the pandemic treaty. People just aren't on board with this globalist health agenda situation. So this is alleged, okay, because it's not widely reported, but there is some information here. This guy, Kenneth Meshu, wrote about it a little bit. He said the 198 countries that belong to the World Health Assembly were asked to sign the legally binding U.S. amendments into international law, which would in essence have robbed nations their sovereignty. The ACDP objected and drew a petition against it, the good news is that it failed. Is he talking about trying to get this through? Hold on a second. Let me go to his page. He wrote, continuing, on Wednesday, the 25th of May, which was Africa Day, Botswana read the statement on behalf of its 47 Afro members, stating that they would not be signing and endorsing the controversial amendments that would have given the WHO power to dictate health policies and solutions. Well done to Africa. This is Kenneth Michaud, leader of the African Christian Democratic Party, member of parliament, peacemaker, nation builder, passionate South African, all self-proclaimed things on Twitter. Interesting. So, yeah. We also have this. Jair Bolsonaro, Brazil will not sign the World Health Organization pandemic treaty, and others as well. I'm sure the story's not over. They are going to continue to push for this type of thing. But, all right. Good Lord, Blackchester. No kidding. Yeah, he took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, this stuff's nuts. All right, let's get into a little bit of other stuff. All right. Throwflame. Yeah, so there's a company called Throwflame. They've unveiled my goodness. Can I just do a little news show in the morning without it being interrupted? Testing. Okay, sorry about that, guys. My gosh. I was just going to move on, talk about a little bit of technology. Today, I saw this, or yesterday. Throwflame unveils robot dog Terminator with a flamethrower attached. It is a robot dog with a flamethrower attached. The Ohio-based firm have announced the $9,420 bot is available for purchase by the general public and government agencies for the first time. 10 grand. You want a robot dog that can throw flames? Just 10 grand. And there it is. There's the flame. It looks like a Boston Dynamics robot dog. I wonder if they use it looks like they just attached a flamethrower to a little robot dog. That's exactly what they did. I kind of want to check out their company. Throwflame. It's crazy. Who needs that? Oh. Fuel your fire. Oh, they sell like weed control flamethrowers and this kind of thing. They don't want me to go to their website because they can't track me. So I can't go visit any more than that. Oh, well. AI. This was an interesting article by Fox News. They said that AI can predict political orientations from faces, expressionless faces. And researchers are saying this poses some serious privacy challenges. And it's funny. It's not perfectly accurate, but it's funny because, I mean, I could do that. People could do that. I guess it is different for an AI to do it, but you could tell political affiliation based on a lot of things, and most of the time probably be correct in your guess on how somebody is apolitical, right-leaning, left-leaning, etc., based on how they look. Literally just by taking a look at the face, they could tell. Isn't that crazy? I bet if you have like a fish hook in your eyebrow and all the things, then it just automatically goes Democrat. And that's how it's mostly right all the time. I don't know though. But I'm not that surprised. That doesn't seem like that hard of a task for an AI. But kind of an interesting story. Facial recognition and this kind of thing. AI is going to be wild, I tell you. We'll have to do another show on AI one of these days. But that's all I'm going to talk about for today. So go ahead and leave some comments. Make sure you subscribe and like. Subscribe if you're new, that's for sure. Comment if you want to talk about any of this. Also, you can follow me on X at ReadyF4Any. There it is on the screen if you want to type it in or write it down and give me a follow. And we could talk over there. We could do spaces, and we could also just post and read each other's content or whatever. The live stream is also there too, so if you want to watch this over there, it's a good time. Thank you, Smitten Kitten. Mary, good to see you this morning. Mary said, happy faces are conservatives. That's a good one. I like that. I appreciate it. Thank you, Light Spear Energy, everybody else for tuning in. I appreciate you all. Black Jester for the donations. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Very generous of you. And hope to see you all soon. Eric B., have a great day. Everybody have a great day. With that, take care. God bless and God speed.
We do a little trolling. It's called We Do a Little Trolling.
May be the year of a black swan event.
The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.